I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I honestly think this house is haunted.
For the first time, you're seeing police body cam footage from the night officers responded to a 911 call at Chelsea Duperon's Michigan home. Unaware.
I don't know what happened. I honestly think this house is haunted. Those words were spoken calmly by a mother standing inside her own home, just moments after police arrived to find her 8-year-old daughter barely alive. The officers who responded to what they believed was a routine medical emergency had no idea they were stepping into one of the most disturbing child abuse cases in recent history. This was not just a crime scene. It was the beginning of a story built on lies, delay, and a desperate attempt to shift blame onto something unseen. In the end, it would prove once again that there is no perfect crime. You're watching No Perfect Crime, where every claim is tested against evidence, every excuse is examined, and the truth always rises to the surface. On the morning of March 16, 2024, police and emergency medical services were dispatched to a quiet residential home after receiving a 911 call reporting that a child was not breathing. When responders arrived, something immediately felt wrong. There was no screaming, no frantic movement, no sense of urgency. The house was silent in a way that experienced officers recognize as unnatural. Upstairs inside a bedroom, they found 8-year-old Leah Castle lying motionless on a bed. She was unresponsive and cold to the touch. Her face was swollen. Her body was covered in bruises, not in one place but everywhere. The injuries were so severe that later medical professionals would describe her as unrecognizable. This was not the appearance of a child who had suffered a simple accident. Standing nearby was Leah's mother, Chelsea Renee Duperon, 30 years old. From the very first moments, her behavior stood out. She did not appear panicked. She was not hysterical. She did not seem overwhelmed with fear or grief. Instead, she spoke calmly, offering explanations that felt incomplete and inconsistent. Chelsea told officers that her daughter had fallen down the basement stairs 2 days earlier. According to her, that fall explained everything they were seeing: the bruises, the swelling, the condition of her child. But trained officers immediately recognized that the story didn't fit the injuries. Falls downstairs usually result in specific patterns: broken bones, isolated impact points, or injuries concentrated on one side of the body. Leah's injuries were different. The bruises varied in size and depth. Some appeared older, others more recent. The pattern suggested repeated force over time, not a single accident. As officers continued their assessment, another alarming detail became clear.
She said that I did hit him.
She said that what?
That I hit him, not him. And she said downstairs. She said she was downstairs, and when I came down there, I hit her.
She said that you hit her? Down the stairs?
Not down the stairs, but when we were downstairs. But it's like, I don't remember that at all. Like, I literally remember going downstairs, we were listening to music, we was gonna go grocery shopping, and then, yeah, I felt like, I thought I seen a lady down there, and then all of a sudden, it was like I woke up.
Who told you that you hit her?
Lila did.
That's her, Lila, in there? How old is she?
8.
She said that you hit her? This was...
But she said your lips were black, but it was you, I think. I'm like, I don't know.
This was 2 days ago?
I believe it was 2 days ago.
Chelsea's hands were swollen and bruised. Her knuckles were discolored. Her arms showed marks consistent with repeated striking. These were not minor injuries. They looked like the hands of someone who had been hitting another person. When asked about her injuries, Chelsea gave vague answers. She said she didn't remember how they happened. She suggested they might be old. Her responses lacked clarity, and as questioning continued, her timeline began to shift. At one point, she said Leah had been awake and responsive the night before. Later, she claimed her daughter had spoken earlier that same day. Then she hesitated and corrected herself. These were not small memory lapses. These were major contradictions. Investigators began to realize this was not confusion. This was a story unraveling under pressure. Medical evidence would later reveal a critical fact. Leah's injuries were likely inflicted on March 13, 3 full days before the 911 call was made. Those 3 days became one of the most disturbing aspects of the entire case. During that time, Chelsea did not call for emergency help. She did not take her daughter to the hospital. She did not contact a doctor, family member, or neighbor. Instead, prosecutors say she placed her severely injured child in bed and left the house. She went shopping. Store receipts and surveillance footage later showed exactly what she purchased: Vaseline, heating pads, alcohol for herself, and most disturbingly, diapers for her 8-year-old daughter. Leah was fully potty trained. There was no medical condition requiring diapers, but her injuries were so severe that she could no longer get out of bed to use the bathroom. Chelsea knew this. She acknowledged it, and yet she still did not seek medical care. The diapers became a key piece of evidence. They demonstrated awareness. They showed Chelsea understood the severity of her daughter's condition. This was not uncertainty. This was not denial. This was a conscious decision to delay help. This is a moment that defines many cases on No Perfect Crime. Accidents trigger panic. Accidents cause people to call for help. Abuse followed by silence tells a very different story. As police questioning continued, Chelsea's explanation changed again. When her boyfriend was asked to step away, the staircase story quietly disappeared. In its place came something far more disturbing. Chelsea told officers she didn't remember attacking her daughter. She claimed she had blacked out. She said there were gaps in her memory that she couldn't explain. Then she introduced a new element that stunned investigators. She claimed she saw a woman in the basement, a witch. According to Chelsea, this woman hated her music and said the house belonged to her. Chelsea described the presence as evil. She suggested this entity controlled her actions and made her hurt her child. She told officers the house was haunted, that bad spirits lived there, that something supernatural was responsible. But detectives were not investigating ghosts. They were investigating a homicide. Evidence does not respond to superstition. Medical experts later confirmed that Leah's injuries were caused by repeated blunt force trauma. There were no injuries consistent with a fall. There was no evidence of an unknown attacker. There was no medical explanation supporting a supernatural blackout. The only person with access, opportunity, and physical signs of violence was Chelsea Duperin.
I don't know, she said that she wanted to lay back down. And then she wouldn't let me pick her up. Like, I was gonna take her to the hospital because I got our insurance back on. But it was like I wasn't able to lift her up. And then it seemed like she was getting better. But
What day was that?
they went to the hospital the day after it happened.
Friday?
Yeah, I guess.
So she wasn't able to move really that much because she fell down the stairs?
Yeah.
Well, I thought we established the falling down the stairs didn't happen.
Or, I mean, yeah, because of what happened downstairs or whatever. Like, I don't know. She looked like she fell down the stairs to me. But
Why? What did you see?
Well, because she's all banged up. But then,
Oh. Did you see her down there?
we walked in there together. And it was like some lady came out and said she hated my music. And then, because it was gospel music, we were playing it because it sounded like I get up in the morning and it makes me feel good. And then it was like, yeah, I don't know what happened.
And then she was all bruised up? So you thought she fell down the stairs, but you're not sure, you didn't see it. And she told you that you hit her.
Mm-hmm. She said she thinks it was me. My lips were black,
That's what she said?
and I don't remember. I don't whoop her. I would not hurt her like this. This thing, I know what it looks like. But I would not do that to her. But I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know. It's like maybe bring a exorcism or something in here, or someone who can listen and see if they hear. Like, it's like, I swear to God,
Do you remember what this lady looked like?
it was like off quick, and it was a brunette lady.
As the investigation deepened, every detail reinforced the same conclusion. The delayed 911 call, the shopping trip, the alcohol, the diapers, the bruised hands, each piece fit together. Chelsea was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and first-degree child abuse. Initially, she pleaded not guilty and continued to reference supernatural forces. But courts do not weigh beliefs, they weigh facts. Psychological evaluations found her competent to stand trial. There was no diagnosis supporting loss of control due to hallucinations. Her claims of evil spirits had no medical or legal support. Prosecutors emphasized that this case was not only about violence, but about neglect. Even after the abuse occurred, Chelsea had multiple opportunities to save her daughter. Each time, she chose not to act. Defense attorneys attempted to frame her behavior as confusion or mental distress. But confusion does not explain shopping calmly. Confusion does not explain purchasing diapers. Confusion does not explain silence while a child dies. Body camera footage played a critical role. In the footage, Chelsea can be heard calmly explaining her theories while her daughter lay dying nearby. There was no urgency in her voice, no desperation to save her child. For investigators and later the court, this footage spoke louder than words. As the case moved forward, the evidence became overwhelming. Chelsea faced the reality that a trial would likely result in life in prison. With no viable defense remaining, she made a decision many defendants make when the truth can no longer be avoided. She pleaded guilty. By pleading guilty, Chelsea accepted responsibility in the eyes of the law. The supernatural narrative ended. There were no witches, no curses, no haunted house, only accountability. At sentencing, Chelsea spoke about loving her daughter and the memories they shared. She talked about happiness and regret, but the court focused on actions, not words. Love does not ignore suffering. Love does not delay help. Love does not leave a child to die. The judge sentenced Chelsea Duperon to 28 to 50 years in prison for the murder of her 8-year-old daughter. An innocent child lost her life. A mother tried to blame the unseen. But evidence does not lie. Because no matter how elaborate the story, no matter how strange the excuse, no matter how long someone delays the truth, lies collapse, evidence remains, and justice arrives. Because there is no perfect crime.
It feels like just yesterday I found out I was having a baby girl. I remember lying in bed holding my belly and asking, what do you think about the name Lila? And I felt 2 little kicks of response, and right then as I cried happy tears that my new best friend's name was Lila. On June 27, 2015, I was blessed with the most perfect baby. I grew into the most caring, smart, funny, loving, sweet girl. I was filled with the love I never knew existed. I remember Lila sitting in the kitchen while I cooked dinner, and she said, Mama, I know why your food is so yummy. I said, oh yeah, why is that? And she told me, because you make it with love. I was hearing her little sleepy voice first thing in the morning, telling me how much she loves me, and her daily reminders that I'm the best mama. I couldn't have asked for a more perfect daughter. Lila was so pure and so sweet, always so happy and loving. She never failed to amaze me. I'll never forget when we decided it was time to take off her training wheels. I was so nervous, but she wasn't. She hopped right on her bike and immediately took off. She was a pro on the first try. I couldn't believe it. I loved watching Garfield and SpongeBob. We loved our cat, Kit Kat, and our dog, Sheila. But most of all, she loved her family and friends. Her most favorite memories were definitely with cousins, Nana, Papa, Aunt Minnie, and Bug. I will never understand why this tragedy has become our reality. Such a devastating loss of the most beautiful life. Rest in peace, baby girl. Until we meet again, I love you always and forever.